Chris texted me, WhatsApped me last night telling me that he decided to go to France in the end after back and forth, lack of communication because we all know what men are like. And then I didn't reply to his text and he knew within a minute because he picked up the phone and rang me. You knew I wasn't happy.
And I thought I'd better smooth things over. I didn't want a family dispute going on, so I thought I'd better, just calm the waters. And we've managed to touch base, so we're all right, aren't we?
We're all right. We're all right until the next time. So why? Let's start where you are now. Why are you in France? Tell us why you're in France first of all.
Yeah, well, I've just got to Perpignan. It was a bit of a late decision, as we mentioned, and because Jack's playing for Hull FC tonight against Catalan Dragons, so it was an opportunity that I thought, you don't know how many of these chances you're going to get to come and see him play out in France. So I thought, right, I'm going to try and get on a flight and see how I can do it. And it's not been easy, I'll be honest, but I'm here and I'm
plane, trains and automobiles, I think, when you was explaining it last night.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've been sort of all around all over the place. But like I said, I'm in Perpignan now, just sat in my hotel room and going to get ready to go to the game very shortly.
Excited. Now, Jack, when we say Jack is Jack Charles, who plays for Hull FC and is our Chris's son, my nephew, with history repeating itself in a way. I've been doing a little bit of sort of research and I want to go back to your rugby career. And Mum and Dad were telling me last night that your debut was with the first team at a young age, around the same age as Jack. So Jack's nearly 18, you were just about 18. And that one of your early games for Rovers, you played against Wigan with Martin Afire, Sean Edwards, all the internationals, and you won. And of course, we know that Jack played against Wigan the other week and he won. What's it like looking at your lad and considering like the career that you've had? How does that feel? Is it a bit surreal? Like, what goes through your mind in those moments?
Yeah, it's a bit surreal. Obviously, like I say, he's sort of reliving some of the things that I did, obviously in his own right. Mine was sort of, like I say, my debut was a bit of a bizarre one. It was actually against Sheffield. I played Wigan a couple of weeks after, I think it was. And then in them days we played Friday and Monday across the Easter weekend, and I actually got called up on the Monday and played against Sheffield for my debut. And like I say, very similar in terms of the time that Jack actually made his debut in terms of our ages and things like that, albeit for Hull FC. And it's like I say, it's quite similar in that sense, but we're obviously two very different people. He's different position, and and he's finding his own way and finding his own path. And obviously, we're all really proud of him, as you'd expect.
Yeah, but you are both goal kickers, so that is something we've got in common. And Dad said last night that he reckons Jack's got a better percentage than you.
Well, yeah, that's not that difficult, probably. He's had more time to practice. I'll give him that one.
All right.
I was a goal kicker, but there was other people who were sort of in front of me in terms of the queue, if you like, for the duties, and I sort of took it up a bit later, and all the excuses starting to come out now, Jimmy. Can you tell? But no, I did kick goals, and and that was sort of part of a role in my team. But I did obviously didn't always do it, and Jack will have the same things as he goes forward. Whether he orders it or somebody else. But he's doing really well. He does practice a lot, and I can vouch for that because I was stood there a lot catching balls, where he's kicking them into car parks, into other fields, into people's gardens. So I had to go and fetch him for him. But he's worked really hard, and again, like I say, he's a credit to himself, and we're all really proud of him.
Yeah, we are, and equally, we're all really proud of you, Chris. Like what you've done in your career is unbelievable. I remember one of my favourite memories of watching you, and it was when I was poorly actually, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But it was when I came to watch you at Wembley, and you were playing Hunslet in the Plate Cup Challenge, and you actually scored a try at Wembley, and I tell you what, I will never ever forget that. Like, what's one of your, I mean, maybe that is, I don't know, but what's one of your moments from from like, whether it be Hull KR, Cass or Salford? What's one of your proudest moments when you've been, through your rugby career?
Yeah, I sort of look at, the sort of the big games, if you like, but there was lots of others in between. I mean, like I said, the Wembley game was, I was young, I was sort of 21 at that time, and we played at the old Wembley, obviously with the Twin Towers, and it was a plate final, so we played before Bradford and St Helens on that day. It was the year of the bomb scare as well.
It was.
The stadium apparently had been emptied, and we was all in the changing rooms, and they said there was a bomb at the end of the ground, and we was like, well, which end? Because if it's at this end, we need to be able to, for those who remember the old stadium.
Yeah.
So that was obviously one of the highlights in terms of as a young kid. I was lucky in terms of I went to Salford and played in a grand final that took us back up to Super League, and then I played Super League after that. And I did a grand final as well with Castleford, which did the same. But that was kind of my year at Cass, and I knew that was coming to an end. So it was got to get them back up. So really proud moments, sort of in terms of the finals. But like I say, lots of other things, lots of memories, lots of friends that you gain from the sport. Which are fantastic.
And tell me one of the memories that I've heard about and I used to get wind of, but never saw it in action, was these end of season days and parties and what went on at a lot of clubs. But apparently you dare each other, and there was always a consequence. Something about running around the pitch naked, is that right?
Yeah, that's pretty much right. Yeah, I mean, it varied at different clubs, and when I went to Salford, and we used to, have the Mad Monday, which is basically the day after your last game of the season, whether you're in the playoffs or you finish the league season, and basically you all get dressed up in whatever theme they say or anybody says, and you all have you start drinking very early in the morning, and it goes on until very late at night, and all the bits in between stay with the team. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What goes on in the pitch stays in the pitch.
Yeah, but part of it was that if you didn't score in the regular season, then you had to what we call a naked run, so you had to run on pitch. Naked and everybody sort of laughing, thinking. But yeah, it was good. Good times. And,
I bet.
Things that you look back on, and thankfully I don't have to do that again. I don't know if I still do things like that, but that was part of the ritual. Yeah.
Well, we are doing something pretty stupid together, in all honesty, Chris, aren't we? So for anybody listening who doesn't know, I struggled with an eating disorder for about 13, 14 years of my adolescent life. And Chris, my brother, who we're speaking to now, was very much a part of that, and was at home with me while I was going through it, and came to visit me in hospital. And it took a massive toll on my family, and I know it did on you, Chris. And thankfully I'm better, and our parents set up Seed Eating Disorder Support Services, and Chris has always been a massive supporter of what we're trying to do, and he ran the marathon for us 3 times now, Chris?
Yeah, 3 times.
So he's not running the marathon for us, but I decided that we were going to jump out of a blooming plane and he was going to come with me. So that is what we're doing on August the 14th. And anybody who cares to donate and sponsor us would be absolutely amazing to help Seed Support Services in Hull do the vital work that we do. But just to come to an end, Chris, for you, you were there for me so much, and I know as a young lad playing rugby as well, whilst his little sister was struggling, How did that, affect you, and what advice can you give to other families or loved ones who were going through anything like what we did?
Yeah, first of all, it's heartbreaking, to see your sister or see a relative, in any family going through things that they're going through. I remember coming to see you in a unit in Hull, and I got the shock of my life, if I'm honest. In terms of seeing you in the bed, seeing you, just like a waif of a human being, really, and it was devastating at the time. And then obviously some of the other units that I came to see you in, and I always try to be there as much as you possibly can. You've got your own obviously life to lead, but your family comes first in that sense, and you know, you want to be there for people, you want to be there for your family, and you try as much as you can to help get through things and just want to be better. I mean, my sort of like some of the memories was just I just wanted you to be better. I just wanted you to be happy. You know, just saw this sort of desperate sort of unhappy girl really, and it was like I say, heartbreaking is probably I would best describe it. You know, and like I say, you know, our parents was marvellous through all that time. The support that they gave, you know, not just to you but to lots of other people. And obviously the charity came out of all that, didn't it? And you know, and you know, I had an ambition at the time, like a long time ago, to run a marathon, and you know, so I did that for the charity. You know, again, just as a way of just helping, you know, and just to try and raise some money, because it's really difficult, obviously, to fund the things that you do, and you know, and lots of other charities get lots of entries to various events and various things, and you know, and rightly so, you know, that's fine, you know, but the small charities like Seed and as it was then, it's really difficult, and you know, I think back to the first marathon in terms of the money raised, you know, and it's probably not a lot really, but it was a start of.
Don't you be
something.
daft. You've been amazing.
But it's kind of got easier, hasn't it, over the years to raise a little bit more money, and we still don't raise enough money, you know. Hence the reason why I did the other marathons, and then hence the reason why you're dragging me in a plane to do something. You know, and you know, there's lots of other people that have done events for you, and there's lots of other people that deserve credit in terms of raising some money and raising awareness and just trying to keep things going and keep the charity going and offer support, you know, not like say not just in Hull but across the world as well, you know, which is far reaching and lots of sort of things that you can do. You know, it's marvellous really, but you know, it just needs to keep going.
Yeah, and so say all of us. And on that note, my darling, I'm going to let you go and watch your lad play rugby, and I am going to forgive you for farting on my head when I was 6 years old. All right, love you.